Most of us are walking around with beliefs we never chose, like save everything now or live later, Ivy League or IIT, or you're nobody, date to marry fast. Kids will lose their morals if they grow up abroad. We inherited them from our parents, absorbed them from society, or picked them up somewhere between India and abroad, and we treat them like facts. I've coached thousands of NRIs and I see this every time. Some of these beliefs are values that actually ground you, but some of them are cages, and they're the reason you feel stuck. Today, we're going to challenge 6 beliefs. And for this video, I sat down with Sri Saini, Miss World America, who has thought deeply about cultural identity as an Indian American to help you figure out which beliefs are actually serving you and which ones you need to let go. Hi, I'm Nupur Dave and I'm a part of Zerodha 01 network. At NRI Diaries, I help NRIs navigate life between countries, careers, meaning, and money. Subscribe and let's figure this out together. Belief number 1, you're lonely because of circumstances. She had something to tell me that stopped me in my tracks. Loneliness is a privilege. And at first I wanted to argue with her. I've spent years in the US feeling lonely, genuinely painfully lonely. How is that a privilege? But here is what she meant. If you have a degree, a roof over your head, food in your fridge, and you're watching YouTube videos about how to fix your life, you are luckier than billions of people on this planet. You have roti, kapda, makan and healthcare. You are not fighting for survival. So yes, loneliness is real, but it is also a privilege problem. The thing is, Americans are lonely too. After their 9 to 5, from 5 to 9 p.m., it's just them. How many workouts can you do to fill the silence? How many shows can you watch? This is a modern life problem, not an Indian problem. Convenience kills the community if you are not intentional. You can order food in seconds. You can get groceries delivered. You can avoid human interaction all day if you want. But you cannot complain about loneliness and also refuse to build a community. So here is the reframe. Stop intellectualizing your complaints. The solution is not moving countries. The solution is action. Join a Zumba class, host a dinner, say yes to invitations, build recurring social routines. In India, community is automatic. In America, community is intentional. If you are sitting in your apartment complaining about being bored, shame on you. Belief number 2. Ivy League or IIT is the only reason you matter. This is the belief that runs so deep in Indian culture that we don't even see it anymore. Your worth is your resume. IIT, IIM, Ivy League, they're all social currencies. We know of people who went to Stanford, who were presidents of student bodies, who did everything right, and they're still struggling to pay rent in San Francisco. The degree did not save them. Your metric for a fulfilling life needs to change. If you keep measuring success by the same resume-driven scorecard that India handed you, you will spend your entire life comparing yourself to people. I worked at Google for 10 years. I met incredible people, but I also met people who were so attached to the Google badge that they were miserable inside and could not leave because leaving felt like admitting failure. If you are defining success by institutions and brands, you are outsourcing your self-worth to other people's opinions. Stop it. Belief number 3, save everything now, live later. This is a belief that is suffocating a lot of NRIs and they do not even know it. It goes like this. I need to save $1 million in liquid assets. Then my life can begin. I've seen people live in cramped apartments. I've seen people skip their parents' surgery trips to India to save flight costs. This $1 million target is a moving goalpost. Once you hit it, you recalibrate. Now it's 2 million and you're still not living. If you are earning well and still feeling suffocated because you will not spend on a livable apartment, a gym that makes you happy, even one vacation a year, you are not giving yourself the breathing room to think bigger, create more, or enjoy what you worked so hard to build. There are 3 pillars: income, lifestyle, and impact. Your income decides your lifestyle. Your lifestyle affects your mental space, and your mental space determines the impact you can make. If you are saving $1,000 a month by living in a cramped apartment with no living room and suffocating, you are saving $12,000 a year, but you are losing the breathing room to do something meaningful with your life. Some beliefs around money are roots. Do not go into unnecessary debt. Invest wisely. Plan for the future. But if you're living like you are broke when you are not, that is a cage. Let it go. Belief number 4. Date fast. Now let's flip to an American belief that many NRIs absorb without questioning it. In India, the pressure is to marry fast. So when you move to the US, the American approach feels like freedom. Date casually, take your time, explore. And at first, it's liberating. You're not on a clock. You're allowed to just be. So here's what happens to a lot of NRIs. They swing so far in the opposite direction that they stop asking the hard questions entirely. Does this person want the same things I want? Am I actually getting to know them deeply? Or am I avoiding commitment by calling it taking my time? I've seen friends date for 3, 4, 5 years and still not be ready. I've also seen people do fast arranged marriages that ended in a divorce within a year. Here's the truth. The belief itself is not the problem. The problem is knowing why you believe it. If you're dating slowly because you genuinely want to know someone deeply, that's a route. That's intentional. But if you're dating slowly because you're scared of commitment, that's a cage. The Indian approach has problems. The American approach has problems. Your job is to figure out which version of the problem you're willing to live with and be honest with yourself about why. Belief number 5. Kids will lose their morals if they grow up abroad. This is a belief I hear most from Indian parents, and it is rooted in fear, not fact. The fear goes like this. If the child grows up in America, they will become too American. They will not respect elders, they will date casually, they will drink, they will party. Let me tell you what I have learned from watching NRI families up close. Your child does not absorb culture from the country they live in. They absorb it from you. So take the best of both worlds. Indian culture gives discipline. American culture gives permission. Indian culture gives structure. American culture gives space. A child who has both is not confused. They are equipped. They have the work ethic and self-trust, family loyalty and individuality. That is balanced. The mistake parents make is thinking they need to control the environment to shape the child. You need to raise a child with such unshakable confidence that no peer pressure can shake them. They should be so full of life, so clear on their goals and vision that they do not follow the crowd, they elevate it. Do not just protect your kids from the world, prepare them to influence it. Speak your mother tongue at home. Tell stories about their grandparents. Explain the why behind traditions instead of just demanding compliance. Model integrity instead of enforcing rules. And maybe, just maybe, loosen up a little. Be bindas. The parents I see raising the most grounded kids are the ones who can laugh at themselves, who take their kids to Diwali and also to football games, and who do not treat every American influence as a threat. This belief that your kids will lose themselves abroad is a cage. Let it go. Belief number 6. If you just work hard enough, you will succeed. I have seen incredibly hardworking Indians get passed over for promotions because they did not know how to network, how to speak up at meetings, and how to sell their work. I have seen people assume that if they just put their heads down and do great work, someone will notice. Here is the truth. Hard work is necessary. It is not sufficient. You also need to understand the game. You need to make yourself visible. You need to know when to speak and how to frame your contributions. These are not extras. They are part of the work. In India, success is often who you know. In the US, success is about what you know and how you present it. Both systems have flaws. The trap is thinking one is pure meritocracy and the other is pure corruption. Neither is true. So take the route. Work hard, be excellent, do not cut corners, but also recognize the cage. Thinking hard work alone will save you. It will not. You have to play the game smarter. So what do you keep? What do you let go? Here is the framework I want to leave you with. Take an inventory of all your beliefs. Actually write them down. All the things you think are just how life works. Then ask yourself, is this a root or is this a cage? Roots ground you. Honesty, hard work, taking care of your body, gratitude. These are beliefs that make you stronger no matter where you are. Cages, on the other hand, limit you. Log kya kahenge? Ivy League only. Save money all the time. Date to marry in 2 months. Here is what Sri Saini said to me that I keep coming back to. She doesn't choose between cultures. She says she's 100% Indian and 100% American, fully integrated, taking the best of both worlds. This is what I want for you. Keep the roots, let go of the cages, and then go live wherever you are. I'm Nupur Dave. You can book a coaching session with me at nupurdave.in or pick up my book Back Home or Unsettled NRI on Amazon if you're trying to decide whether to move back to India or live a better life abroad. Follow NRI Diaries for more content like this. Bye.